stand is Yoruba people. And my stand is that Yoruba are being deliberately treated like second-class citizens in Nigeria. My stand is that the government of Buhari deliberately is treating Yoruba as second-class citizens. Not even only Yoruba. They are treating Igbos. They are still, everybody in Nigeria, they are treating us like second-hand citizens. Afterwards, to the best of my knowledge, the Northerners, and without being biased, the Northerners, when I say the Northerners in Nigeria, so let's be clear and be specific. The Northerners in Nigeria, Fulani and Hausas, are parasites. I will call them parasites. Bunch of parasites. They don't produce anything. They don't contribute anything to the national purse. But at the end of the day, they are the main beneficiary. They are the main beneficiary of whatever Nigeria is generating, whatever income Nigeria is generating. The Hausa Fulanis are the main beneficiaries. Despite the fact that they don't produce anything, they don't contribute anything, they are the least educated, but they are the one even holding all the key positions in Nigeria. And that's why I will blame both Yorubas and Igbos. I will blame Yoruba and Igbos. I will blame them because I will say a proverb now. My late mother used to say a proverb when I was growing up, because my late mother was a businesswoman, and my late mother used to say a proverb that I don't know how to say it in English, but let me say it in Yoruba. After all, my target audience are Yoruba people. In fact, I can't say Yoruba ni, but concon me le she ma wa carry the way ma so Yoruba. So timba so Yoruba motoro gafara lo yin Yoruba le ki ma so throughout, but I mean me le help. I will be carried away and I will speak in English. But that's not even the issue. Mama mi ma po we kan. Mama mi to ku so run kolon ko fon we kan, wọ́n ma po we kan pé gbogbo mi ò gbogbo la wo se npo lọ́jà. Tó bá lọ sọ́jà wọ́n ma fobo lo e. Ìwọ ló ní gbogbo yẹn mọ́ra. Tó bá lọ sọ́jà tó fẹ́ lọ ra nǹkan. Wà rí yan kan tó pé iṣu títí ẹ̀. Wà mọ̀ pé general averagely 2 naira non tashu. For analysis purpose yo, wà mọ̀ pé 2 naira non tashu. But tó bá lọ sọ́dọ̀ èyàn kan sọ fẹ́ pé $8 naira ní iṣu títun. Ìwọ ló wá sọ pé mi rà. Wọ́n wá sọ iṣu tó ń tà 2 naira. Wà dé kúrò níwájú ẹ̀, ìyẹn ò tí ì dìjà. Wà lọ sọ́dọ̀ ẹlòmíì tó máa tashu ẹ̀ 2 naira fún ẹ. So gbọ̀bọ̀ mi ò gbọ̀bọ̀. Láriwo ṣe tẹ́ bá gbọ́ pariwo pọ̀ lọ́jà kí wọ́n ń jà. Tó bá lọ sọ́jà tó gbọ́ tariwo ń pọ̀ wọn ò jà. Èyàn kan máa fọ̀bọ̀ lọ ẹ́. Èyàn kan á resist ọ̀bọ yẹn. Èyàn kan sọ pé no, ó lè fọ̀bọ̀ lọ mí. Lẹ́ṣẹ̀ máa rí tariwo máa pọ̀ lọ́jà. Kí wọ́n ń jà, wọn ò jà. Gbọ̀bọ̀ mi ò gbọ̀bọ̀. Láriwo ṣe ń pọ̀ lọ́jà. So let's now bring it to Nigeria. We have 3 major tribes in Nigeria. Hausa, Igbo, Fulani. And Hausa Fulani, let's put Hausa Fulani on one side, Igbo on one side, Yoruba on one side. Even though we have minority tribes too, we should not forget that we have minority tribes. But these are the 3 main tribes that we can say these are majority tribes in Nigeria. So now one particular tribe called Hausa Fulani have taken the 2 other tribes as slaves. They are not pretending about it. The Hausa Fulani have taken both Yoruba and Igbo as slaves. In fact, they can tolerate Yorubas. The Hausa Fulani can tolerate Yorubas, but they cannot even tolerate the Igbos. So that's why when I see people who call themselves Peter Obi, obedience, and I just laugh. I laugh in the sense that, let's be realistic. Do you think a typical Fulani president will hand over power to Peter Obi? Because I still don't understand the game Peter Obi people are playing, or the so-called obedience or Obi movement. I don't know what they call themselves. Is it obedience or Obi movement or Peter Obi? Now, I don't have anything against Peter Obi. God sees my heart. I don't have anything against Mr. Obi. So don't think I have any personal thing against. And I don't have anything against Igbo becoming the president of Nigeria. I don't have anything against Igbo becoming the next president of Nigeria. But do you think Buhari, whether it's the fake one or is the genuine one, do you think Buhari, a Fulani conservative president of Nigeria, will hand over power to an Igbo president. That's it. Do you ever think that Fulani, Buhari, a Fulani conservative man, will hand over power to Peter Obi, assuming Peter Obi wins the election, assuming Peter Obi, assuming Peter Obi wins the election, assuming Peter Obi wins the election. So you think now in your dream that Buhari now will hand over power to Peter Obi, assuming Peter Obi wins, and assuming there's going to be election in 2023. Because I still don't believe that there will be election in 2023. I still believe that the Fulanis have another agenda. I believe that the Fulanis, headed by Buhari, have another agenda entirely. And if we don't use, I'm sorry to say it too, and I'm not being insulted, we don't use our common sense in the southern part of Nigeria. We refuse to use our common sense, including our leaders, including our so-called selfish leaders. We don't use our common sense, and we refuse to use our common sense. And that is why Fulani will rule over till eternity. Number one, an average Yoruba and Igbo person is selfish and self-centered. That's number one. Number two, an average Yoruba and Igbo are hypocrites. An average Yoruba and Igbo are hypocrites. And then number three, an average Yoruba person and Igbo person is self-centered. And that is why you see people like Baba Fashionati, people like Baba Akintoye, people like Baba Debajo refuse to leave the scene. Then if you go to Igbo too, Igbo land, they have their counterparts, people like Nwanyanwu, they refuse to leave the scene. They still call themselves political leaders. People like JP Clark, Chief JP Clark. They are in their 80s and their 90s, but they refuse to leave the political scene. They want to be relevant at all times. They have been in the political scene since 1960. Yet, they don't deem it fit to retire. They don't deem it fit to retire. They don't deem, and they will tell you that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. So how is the youth leaders of tomorrow when the old one that we have refuse to leave the scene? Instead, what they do, and they have perfected, is the game of divide and rule. Divide and rule, and then money politics. Take Tinubu, for example. Whenever he sees that there's going to be anything that will not work in his favor, he will just throw money into the place. Scatter them. So they've perfected what the politics I call politics of divide and rule, politics of money. They use money for anything. Tinubu has, for example, believes so much in money, and he believes that it can buy anybody over. And the money is working for him. The money is working for me. All those endorsements they are doing for Tinubu, Ojula so called endorsement on you, Owo lo ba de. Àwọn endorsement on ṣe fún Tinubu won yen, Owo lo ba de. Àwọn endorsement won yen kì í ṣe endorsement Ojula son owó ní gbogbo ìbàdí. So Tinubu has discovered that Yoruba people, everybody has a price. And he's playing the game to his advantage. If you go to Igbo land too, their leaders too, once you give them money, they will change their tone. So in Nigeria, the politics we play now, and the southern part of Nigeria, they are playing foolishly politics of self-preservation. I must be at the center. Fulani must recognize me. Fulani must negotiate with me. And they are telling lies. They are liars. Now, if I say they are liars, now people will say, hey, you are being rude. Be rude to who? I still don't understand it too. And then this concept of Agbalagba Niwon Agbalagba is wrong. This concept of Agbalagba Niwon Agbalagba Agbalagba ṣe nǹkan burúkú. Ewa Niwon gbọ́dọ̀ Agbalagba. Agbalagba tó yẹ pé in a normal situation, Agbalagba tó yẹ pé ẹlòmíì wà gan mi ní sọ tó yẹ kó ṣe fún Agbalagba wọn. Tó ká bàbá sọ pé mo preach violence. I won't say whatever. Wọ́n máa sọ pé Agbalagba ni wọ́n, but Agbalagba tó ń ṣe láńgbáláńgbá, Agbalagba tí ò lóró common sense ẹ̀. Because èmi ò mọ nǹkan tó ń pè ó, Agbalagba tó mọ̀ pé as of today in Nigeria, Fulani have turned Yoruba into second-class citizens. Agbalagba ò sọ anything no. Agbalagba tó mọ̀ pé Fulani ti dominate everywhere in Nigeria. Agbalagba tó mọ̀ pé Fulani are our new colonial masters in Nigeria. Don't let us pretend about it. The Fulanis are our new colonial. When United Kingdom left, they are our official colonial masters. And then when United Kingdom left and we got independence in 1960, We thought we have gotten independence. No, we did not get any independence. I'm telling you, we did not get any independence. Our new colonial master, unofficially now, are the Fulanis, whether we like it or not. So you might not like what I'm saying, and I don't want you to like what I'm saying, because I'm not doing my program to say what you will like. I'm just being realistic. I belong to, as you all know, I'm a lawyer, and I belong to Realism School of Law. I'm a perfect student of Realism School of Law. I see things in the reality, and I see things from reality perspectives. So I'm not the one that will sugarcoat anything. If you like call me as being blunt, if you like call me say I'm not being diplomatic, I'd rather not be diplomatic than to be diplomatic and be telling lies and be deceiving people. So our new colonial masters in Nigeria now are the Fulanis. There's nothing we can do about it. Don't deceive yourself. There are some positions in Nigeria today. If you are not a Fulani man, you are not qualified to hold that position. There are some positions. I don't even need to go further. EFCC, since they have established EFCC, if you are not from the northern part of Nigeria, you can never be chairman of EFCC. And EFCC today has become a tool of political vendetta. Once the president does not like your face, he will set EFCC after you. It's as bad as that. So once the presiding president in Nigeria does not like your face, he's going to set EFCC after you. And unfortunately for our leaders, all of them are corrupt. So there's no way EFCC will do a scrutiny. They will find you you have been involved in one criminal activities or the other. And that is why the Fulanis are getting away, controlling everybody. Because once they know that you are being stubborn, they will send EFCC after you. And all our leaders in Yoruba land and Igbo land, they have skeleton in their cupboard. But let a Fulani man be corrupt. EFCC will not act. EFCC will not act. EFCC will not act. So, but EFCC is very effective in Yoruba land. EFCC is very effective in Igbo land. Let's take the issue of Yahoo boys. I don't support Yahoo boys, but why is it that EFCC are always active in Igbo land and Yoruba land? So does it mean that they don't have Yahoo boys in the north? In the northern part of Nigeria, they don't have any Yahoo boys. It's only in the east and south that, it's only in Igbo land and Yoruba land that we have Yahoo boys. So we don't have Yahoo boys in northern part of Nigeria. Then go to NDLEA, the drug agents. Is it only Yoruba people or Igbo people that are into drug business? I'm not supporting drug business, so get me right. So, because people will twist it now, I'm not in support of drug business. But is it only Yoruba and Igbo that do drug business in Nigeria? Who consume weed most? Who consume weed most? The 80% of the weed produced in Nigeria are consumed in the north. In fact, they have what we call a drug menace now in the north. All this codeine, tramadol, they are being sold in the north. So people importing it from Lagos, as their target market is northern part of Nigeria. And then there are some people who are distributors in the north. Because you cannot just go to the north and start going to the market and start selling tramadol or weed. There's a middleman in the north. It might even be so I still, and then you will never see NDLEA. You will never see them. How many times have you seen NDLEA busting a house in the northern part of Nigeria because of drug? But they will come to Lagos, they will go to Owerri, they will go to Aba, and then that's why NDLEA will be so active. That's when they will now see that this guy is a drug banner. But the people who are the main buyers, consumers, who live in the northern part of Nigeria, they are never arrested. If there is no buyer, there will not be a supplier. It's simple economic analysis. If there is no buyer, there will not be a supplier. So the northerners are the consumers of the drug. But NDLEA will not go to the north to arrest the consumers, to arrest the middlemen. NDLEA will not go to the north to arrest Yahoo boy, EFCC rather. EFCC will not go to the northern part of Nigeria to arrest the Yahoo boys. It's only in the south. When I say south, Yoruba and Igbo land, that EFCC is so effective. The same thing with immigration. The same thing with customs. Customs are always active in Idiroko border. Customs are always active in Idiroko border. Customs are active in Cameroon border. But you will not see customs to be active in Ilela, Jibia in the north. These are borders too. Jibia is a border town. Ilela is a border town. Even Daura is a border town between Nigeria and Niger Republic. But you will never see immigration be active in northern part of Nigeria. In fact, you don't even, if you get to Daura, if you get to Ilela, if you get to Jibia, there's no difference between Nigeria and Niger Republic. There's no difference. People just strolling from Niger Republic and go back. In fact, during election, you will see people coming from Niger Republic to come and vote in Nigeria. No law that will affect them. There's no law that affect them. I remember when Buhari was campaigning, second term, 2 governors came from Niger Republic to come and campaign for Buhari. 2 governors came from Niger Republic to come and campaign for Buhari, which is a violation of electoral law, which is a clear violation of Nigerian electoral law. So I still don't understand why our leaders in the southern part of Nigeria are so mute. They don't say anything. They don't complain. They are contended to be second-class citizens, and in fact, they have seen themselves as second-class citizens. So, political leaders in the southern part of Nigeria have seen themselves, have recognized themselves as second-class citizens in Nigeria. So, and they don't mind as long as Fulani governments give them money. As long as Fulani government give them money, token, I call it token, because they are eating crumb. They are eating crumb. Fulani will pack money, and then they will just give Yoruba leaders or Igbo leaders a few out of the money they have stolen. Just 1 bill. It's like somebody stole 9 billion naira and then gave you just 1 bill of 10 million naira, and then you are happy. So this is what our Yoruba people do. They scramble to go and eat crumbs from the Fulanis. Now, in the past 3 weeks, I still don't understand Yoruba people. I still don't understand Yoruba people. And I will never understand them. And that is why I will be at loggerheads with Yoruba. I'm a Yoruba man, so don't think I'm not a Yoruba man. But I will always be at loggerheads with my Yoruba people. I will always be at loggerheads. Now, in the past 3 weeks, do you know that the Fulani bought 2 banks in Yoruba land? In the past 2 weeks, nobody said anything. At least I know of a bank. The second one, I'm not sure whether they've concluded it. Polaris Bank was bought quietly. Polaris Bank, let me say it again. No, Polaris Bank was bought quietly by Babangida. Polaris Bank, using his son-in-law. Okay, using his son-in-law, Polaris Bank was bought for 25 billion naira by Babangida. The company that bought Polaris Bank was incorporated in April 28, 2022. The company that bought Polaris Bank, that means, let me even use a technical term. The company that acquired Polaris Bank was incorporated on April 28, 2022. They don't have any history of being a financial institution. And they bought a bank. Can you imagine? A company that was incorporated on April 28, 2022, bought a bank. And the bank is owned by Babangida in-law. And I know the guy is acting for Babangida. So they want to sell Unity Bank again. And I can bet it with you is the Fulani that is going to buy Unity Bank. Now, Yoruba leaders are not concerned about that one. It doesn't bother them. It doesn't bother Yoruba people. All the national assets, when I say national assets, you don't know that in law, we have what we call liquidated assets. Liquidated assets are money. Term certain. Money is what we call liquidated assets. And then we have what we call immovable assets. Immovable assets. Immovable fixed assets. Immovable fixed assets are buildings. Immovable fixed assets in law are buildings. So all federal government immovable assets in Yoruba land. Let me say it again, no. All federal government immovable assets, because you cannot move them. They are buildings. They are attached to the ground. You can't move them. That's why we call them immovable assets. All federal governments of Nigeria, immovable assets in Nigeria, are being used as collateral for Chinese loan. Let me say it again, no. Let me say it slowly. Let me say it closely so that you can know what I'm saying. All federal government immovable assets in southern part of Nigeria, especially in Lagos, are being used as collateral for Chinese loan. To make it worse, when these loans are approved and federal and Chinese governments give Nigeria this loan, the money will be taken to the northern part of Nigeria to develop the place. From Kano, there's a railway now from Kano into Niger Republic, 87 miles. There's a new railway line from Kano that will be constructed and it's going to Niger Republic, 87 miles. From Daura to Niger Republic, the length of the train is railway line is 87 miles. Or maybe 87 kilometers a year. Okay, we use kilometers in Nigeria. So from Daura, which is the border town, the length of the train inward to Niger Republic is 87 kilometers. And Nigeria borrowed $97 billion to construct the railway line. Let me tell you, Nigeria borrowed $97 billion. Dollars, not naira. Nigeria borrowed $97 billion to construct that railway line going to Niger Republic. Now they are planning to borrow another set of money to complete the railway project. So what is the relevance of a railway project that is in Niger Republic to Nigeria? But our leaders in Yoruba land will not say anything. Our leaders in Igbo land, they will not say anything. Tabara sọ pé olórí burúkú ni wọ́n ní sí. Hey, lawyer rude. Hey, lawyer ṣe rude. Lawyer ṣe people àwọn àgbàlagbà. Are they not stupid? Our leaders, are they not stupid? That Nigeria will go and borrow money from China, pay interest rate on the loan, use collateral, use Yoruba property as collateral, and then they will now take the project to the north. They will take the project to the north. Buhari came to World Bank. Buhari came to World Bank and instructed the president of World Bank that any project they have that the World Bank is bringing to Nigeria, they should cite it in the north. Buhari came to World Bank. I'm a living witness. Buhari came to World Bank, instructed the president of World Bank. Buhari came to World Bank, instructed the president of World Bank and said that any project that the World Bank is bringing to Nigeria, they should go take it to the north and cite it in the north. Are we not fools in Yoruba land? Are we not fools in Igbo land? But our leader will not say anything. It doesn't concern them. Rather, people like Ooni of Ife, what concerns Ooni of Ife now is to have as many as 30 wives. What is going on in Yoruba land doesn't concern Ooni of Ife. What is going on in Yoruba land doesn't concern Ooni of Ife. What concerns Ooni of Ife is to have as many as 30 wives. Nothing concerns Professor Banji Akintoye. Nothing concerns Professor Banji Akintoye. What concerns Professor Akintoye is how people will donate money into a central account. All those things does not concern. Those things does not concern Tinubu. What concerns Tinubu is how to become the next president of Nigeria. That's what concerns Tinubu. There is this devilish inland waterway bill. I call it devilish inland waterway bill. I call it inland waterway bills. It doesn't concern Tinubu and our political leaders in the south. Lagos State will be the most affected by the time that inland waterway bill is passed into law. It doesn't concern Sanwo-Olu or Sanwo-Ole or whatever they call his name. No. What bothers Sanwo-Olu is how Tinubu is master will become the next president. It doesn't even concern Oba of Lagos, because by the time they sign Inland Waterway Bill, Oba of Lagos Palace will belong to federal government of Nigeria. Oba of Lagos is not bothered. Whether his palace is now part of federal government's property, it doesn't concern Oba of Lagos. All Lekki we belong to federal government of Nigeria. The whole of Victoria Land, some part of Ikoyi, we belong to federal government of Nigeria. By virtue of Inland Waterway Bills, most of the parts, most of the half of Ikorodu, we belong to federal government of Nigeria. If you don't know, but it doesn't bother. It doesn't bother Sanwo-Olu. What bothers Sanwo-Olu is how is drug lord, come master, is drug baron, come master. Tinubu will become the next president of Nigeria. So if I say that we don't have leaders in Yoruba land, the people will be arguing with me. We don't have leaders in Yoruba land. What we have are what I will call dealers. We don't have leaders in Yoruba land though. What we have is dealers. They will go to Abuja and go and negotiate and go and negotiate on their behalf, on behalf of their own children, on behalf of their own immediate family, and then when they come back, they will tell you they are representing Yorubas. How are they representing Yorubas? So can you tell me that Tinubu is representing the interest of the Yorubas? Can you tell me that Baba Fashionot is representing the interest of the Yorubas? Can you tell me that Tinubu is representing the interest of Yoruba? Can you tell me and convince me that Ooni of Ife is representing the interest of the Yorubas? And this is the situation we find ourselves, and we are not ready to correct it.